The president didn't just resign, the people pushed him out. Today we are demanding that Bouteflika's clan are put on trial. We are asking for justice.
I hope that Bouteflika's resignation will have an impact from the bottom up. The 24 million Algerians who have come out have done this so that everyone resigns, from the People's Municipal Assembly to the provinces. Corruption is everywhere.
It's time to get to work with more than just words and slogans, now that we've reached our goals.
So that is what people are saying in Algeria on this pretty historic day for the country. Well, to talk more about that, I'm joined in the studio by Akram Belkaid. He's a journalist at Le Monde Diplomatique. Thank you for being with us tonight. Now, first of all, Abdelaziz Bouteflika has gone. That was the big news last night. But who today is running the country?
According to the constitution, it's Mr. Ben Salah, who is the head of the Senate, the higher part of the Algerian parliament, and he has 3 months to organize new elections, and then we'll have presidential elections. So officially, he's the new president. Oh, of course, the Algerian parliament has to vote for this. But of course, in Algeria, as always, you have the official power and you have the unofficial power. And clearly today, the army is at the lead of the country. They have decided to fire Mr. Bouteflika and his family, and they have to decide what is going on in the future for the coming weeks.
Because Bouteflika was seen as a figurehead, really, wasn't he, of this regime? You know, how can Algeria now go about dismantling those power structures behind the throne, the army, the oligarchs, and all the rest of it?
Clearly, it's going to take time. If we do follow the constitution today and we do have elections in 3 months, it's not going to be enough to change Algeria. This is why Algeria needs a big change. To dismantle the system, to have reforms, to have political reforms, to open the political field to other players which were forbidden to get in the past, we need time in Algeria, maybe a year, 2 years, to conduct a real good transition, which is not apparently the goal of the army, which wants elections in 3 months. So this is why maybe for the coming weeks we may have some tensions between the people who are in the street and the army.
So paradoxically, the people don't want fresh elections right now.
Yes, because usually when you saw a fall of a regime, you may think that the elections are the solution. Today, the elections, of course, it's always a solution, because you have to go back to the people, to ask the people what he wants. But today in Algeria, imagine that we had 20 years with Mr. Bouteflika, where the opposition was not allowed at all to participate, to maybe to make some proposals. And today we would like to change the system in 3 months. It's impossible.
Do you think the head of the army might go, General Saleh?
This is quite difficult because he is appointed by the president. The president is gone, and Mr. Ben Salah is not allowed to do so. So if we want to see the General Gaid Salah to leave, we may wait. And of course, the army is not going to take this decision really easily, because maybe, of course, he can resign. He can resign and he can be replaced by another general. There are plenty of them in Algeria. But it's going to be a very huge decision to take, and who is going to be to succeed to him? Are we going to have another general? Which age? Coming from which army? This is quite difficult to decide now.
Several businessmen have been arrested, could be facing corruption charges. Is this a real crackdown on the Bouteflika's inner circle, do you think? Or is this, as some people have suggested, a bit of a distraction?
It's a kind of distraction. It's a kind of a positive answer toward the people that are demonstrating. But it was also a leverage. It was a pressure on Bouteflika's family, saying, okay, you don't want to leave, we are going to destroy all your structure. First, we are going to jail your friends, all these, between commas, oligarchs, because they were not really oligarchs, they were just the friends of Mr. Bouteflika's brother. So it's a mix. It's not what we may call in Europe manipulate or whitewashing the system. It's just a pressure and a signal, a very strong signal towards anyone who thought that the army was not in charge of the country.